Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Fallout New Vegas. So, we have a quest here to plant an NCR bug, find intel on the Legion raids, and find general intel on the Legion movement. So we're moving towards Cottonwood Cove. Almost certainly going to fail this mission and get detected and then just kill everybody in the area, which works pretty well too as a plan as far as getting rid of the Legion. Inherently, this is the third or fourth somewhat stealth mission that would be available to me, and there's definitely some problems there as far as just how far would you have to start crouching down and be hidden. Are these guys in stealth when I'm in stealth, or can these guys as companions set off the detection? That's another question certainly to ask. What would be shocking is if I actually got to Cottonwood Cove and they weren't already aggressive and aggroed on me. There is a not filled in triangle here, so let's go and figure that out. Anywhere I go, just spinning around looking for the tiny little hollow triangles is a smart move. But yeah, for a stealth mission like this, wow, you have to get really close here. I'm dressed as an NCR guy, by the way, so they are definitely going to be unhappy with me if they see me. But yeah, any other game, even of this time, would have given you a start point or a warning when you get too close. But Bethesda's logic is 1 second. Sorry about that. I thought my YouTube player on my phone had stopped, but apparently it had just buffered. There we go. Hey, there's a special named gun. But yeah, what are you supposed to do with a sniper's nest like this? How is that? As somebody who even wanted to be a sniper, if you wanted to play that way, and with a companion who's a sniper, there's nobody here. There's nothing to shoot at. It seems like they have done a decent job of making a sniper's nest, but one would assume it's a sniper's nest that's looking this way, so maybe this is a Legion sniper nest from the looks of it. And that's kind of a unique tarp that we just don't see. We're going somewhere around here, I believe. So, well, let's just spin around again to see if there's anything new to find. So, the idea, I guess, would be to get close to this. Now, last time I used the stealth boy, in fairness, it was fairly long that it lasted, so if I am going to actively try anything stealthy, I should just use a stealth boy. Should also just look at our companions and see if they turn invisible with a stealth boy. We're far enough away that you don't see any of the NPCs hanging around. They're not hiding in the hills.
We're near a Legion slave camp now. I've been here before. Let's get one thing straight. I see any crimson, I'm taking a shot. You don't like that, you're on your own. I don't think I'd hold it against you.
So he's telling me he's just going to shoot. And that's a warning I definitely would not have gotten if I didn't have that companion. Here's where I'm going to find I don't actually have a stealth boy on me. There's actually one. Stealth boy enabled. He is not invisible. I am. Let's just see what happens. This might work out fairly well in that he may prove to be a perfect distraction. Seems like as we get closer, spin around in a circle, see if there's any other triangles. There's just more and more enemies spawning. It's quite a lot of people, actually. So, yeah, taking them all out, which is what I plan on doing anyways, does seem like that will be somewhat difficult. So he's just gonna go and shoot them. And then, you know what? I'm hidden as a stealth boy, or at least I think I'm hidden. And so he can just fight them all. Meanwhile,
retribution! Come on.
Alright, so much for stealth. Like, Caesar already hated us. Stealth boy didn't work. He did warn me. Stealth boy is now walked off. Now place the radio bug. He can now just be vilified by Legion. The other thing to do is to find general intel and intel, and from the looks of it, there is just some intel over here. Legion raid plans. And replace the bug. Did we get all the bodies here? Canyon Runner apparently was a named character. Alright. And so now we'll go and try and maintain and repair items. Like this Legion Explorer armor that one of those. Prime armor. We'll keep one of those. Veterans armor. We'll keep one of those. I have no idea what we're gonna do, though. Past that point, because very quickly very quickly we are going to still be over encumbered.
Can't run from me.
My current gun is proving to be fairly useless. Should probably think about equipping something else. Magnum's not much better. Yeah, this doesn't sound too bad. Of course, this does highlight. I meant to look at the map. Yep. We now need to go to the office. The sniper's concept here really doesn't work. The only way that playing any kind of sniper character would work is if you had actively picked a companion who would always run ahead of you and do a bunch of damage. Notice how that visual's glitched very quickly. Let's go with this, this, and this, and this. And then I guess the question comes down to what's worth stealing and losing karma over. I'd say pretty much everything is probably worth stealing and losing karma over. Undoubtedly, if you played with Caesar and sided with him, you would probably deal with this guy on a very different level. But yeah, seems like that's it, and no real reason why the toy car is there. Okay. I see somebody somewhere is in that general direction.
Can't run from me. Wish there was more.
Then general questions. Take Sunset Sarsaparillas. I do believe we have all 50 of the needed. I hope it's only 50 of the needed things. Blue star caps. The XXX label on these boxes definitely gives the feeling, though, that Sunset Sarsaparillas are supposed to be some kind of alcoholic drink. I've not been considering it alcoholic, and it's not like the game is treating it like it's alcoholic. Yep. So, I don't know what to really take from that. See, I don't know if it really is worth losing karma. Late in this game, I suppose karma starts to play considerably less of an important role. Just because you're not going to be treated poorly because of having low karma with the NCR. They are going to be super happy with me for killing all of these people. I don't think I've cleared out the entire area though. So one thing we could do is first of all see if we can craft anything. And I'm not sure crafting things ever makes you better off. Then I guess the other thought that we can do is we can just dump weapons. Machete Gladius. Well, that got rid of quite a few things. But anything that's Legion, I don't think he can hold on to. But he can take helmets. But that didn't fix enough things. I have 2 hunting rifles, neither one which seem to be repairable, which is weird. Why is that the case? So my hope is I'll get lucky and none of these buildings are actually accessible. Then that would just leave me with some other buildings on the other side to deal with. That looks like that's the case, is that these buildings are not accessible, they are just set dressings. I wish visually there was a way to tell if something was interval or not. A very obvious system would be, do you see lights on in the windows? If it's lit up, then yes, you can enter the place. If it's not lit up, no, you can't enter the place. That would be an easy way. To work around all that. I do think we will finish the Searchlight campaign. I don't think we need to take dog hides or dog meat. There potentially is a Legion person there, or should be a Legion person there, but they don't seem like they're there. Which is going to leave us, I guess, just searching these toilets. Nothing special here, although they are uniquely very broken up, and certainly we don't see the toilets this damaged anywhere else in the game, which that feels like an odd inconsistency, but it also kind of makes some sense that maybe they were being very ambitious early in the game, since this is a somewhat early location. And then they gave up on that level of ambition. What is that supposed to be? To me, doesn't seem like I can even pick it up. It's supposed to be a light bulb, I guess. But yeah, this kind of custom decoration of specific rooms seems rather unnecessary. There's also an overlook over there, so maybe we will have to investigate that. And then this looks like this is just a storage room. We don't need to steal drugs, doesn't matter. Didn't need to take scrap metal either. Yeah, there is basically nothing in here. So I don't know if there was some kind of quest that would have been attached to that or what.
We take this boat. It's probably the last one we ever take. I'm ready for that. Are you? You ever change your mind, I'll be right there with you.
So he's willing to just take the boat and attack the fort, which is also what I'm willing to do, but I want to try some other things first. So it seems to me absolutely nothing will stop the conflict at Hoover Dam, because you can totally go to the fort and kill Caesar and kill every other person at the fort. Whole bunch of empty sunset sarsaparilla bottles, 100% decoration, Nuka-Cola fridge, custom refrigerator, jute boxes. There's a few places we've seen these jute boxes. They don't really play a role. It is a real far cry from something like looks like there's maybe something behind the jute box. Yeah, something like Dishonored, where you would maybe set off a jukebox and distract people who have been programmed into certain walking patterns to break their walking patterns and investigate it. Or maybe something like Hitman, I guess, would be another example to consider. If there's supposed to be a button here to interact with, it would move this or slide this. I don't see it. I don't think this game is that sneaky. But yeah, it does feel like there might be something back there. But that may just be the way this building is built. Yeah, you would have to expect there to be a button like under a table or something, or really high up. I think this probably just was a thought that there'd be something back there. We can tap A all we want. I can click right stick. Like other items that are movable, like this, you can pick up. You can kind of drag around. Even that's not really moving much. So yeah, here we have that cigarette. We can pick that up. Same thought here. Nope. Same on the refrigerator. No. I imagine that isn't just because my strength is too low. Okay. Let's see. Explorer armor. Explorer armor. So there's 4 pieces of Legion armor. It's quite a lot. And visually, yeah, I understand the idea of having 4 pieces of armor. Video game wise though, it just doesn't really make any sense that you would need or want the player. Let's go to the storage. We haven't checked that out yet. To collect 4 pieces of armor. Yeah, doesn't make sense. Inherently, what it feels like is almost this childish stubbornness to say, well, if we bothered to create it, we should make the player collect it. Wait, I would much prefer the concept of just multiple skins of the same armor and everything just being labeled as Legion armor. So you'd pick up a whole bunch of Legion armor and then you'd have like a skin mod if you were going to go down that route. The only thought I'm having here is that maybe by lowering my karma, I would increase my chance of running into random encounters. But I don't think so. So we'll just fast travel over here to the Overlook. And then let's just spin around. There is something in this direction worth checking out, I guess. This may be really, really far in this direction, though. This may be an indicator of something I suspected, which is that there would be something here. Yeah, as far as the Overlook is concerned, I don't believe we ever had any enemies in this area. It's just a bunch of boarded up buildings. Feels to me like the general idea is that this could have been restored at some point, or this could have been part of a city. We've got some radioactiveness. So there was just a whole other way of killing everybody in Cottonwood Cove. And I didn't find it. That's an interesting twist. That is much more like a Hitman element, where you would find some kind of puzzle solution. How was I supposed to figure out how to do that, though? That's really going to be the question. And see, that just kind of makes me sad that such a thing like that can exist and I can miss it, because it makes me wonder how many other interesting, bespoke, creative ways were there to solve other quests in this game that I just completely missed. Have I just been a bonehead this whole time? Let's see.
Can't run from me. You're mine. All mine. You're mine.
Crouch down. As far as I can see, I am putting the character directly in my crosshairs.
All mine. Eat this.
But pretty obviously it's not working. Smith Mesa's Prospector Camp. Has a prospector's dog, which we haven't seen any other dogs. A radio. And a blue chip. And then just a wall. So my assumption here is that there was a prospector living here, and then the dog just stayed. And I don't think that there's anything I can do with this dog. I just don't think there's any other quest. Let's spin around and see if we find any other. Am I finishing any challenges here? Perhaps by shooting all of these geckos? Or is this just a big dumb empty field? Again, spin in a circle, see if there's any non-filled in parts. It does seem to me like there's still a chance that if you walked right to the edge of this field, this is a fairly green section, maybe this would tell you that there is something in a specific direction. Yeah, there is a item. I guess that speaks to the distance you have to be from a new location. You have to be fairly close. I definitely could have enjoyed finding a few more sections that were a little greener, but I also definitely would have expected such a big area to actually have random encounters. Pitch black, slightly pitch black. Cave. As far as I can tell, it is not a cave that opens up into a labyrinth area. Obviously, it was intended to do that at some point, but they didn't finish the game to that level. If anything, it feels like the game is intentionally teasing different locations. Fire root cavern. This is a cave. I have enough bullets and they're deadly enough to just not even use the scope and use a sniper rifle. So we'll keep on doing that. This might be a decent spot where having the VATS ability would come into being handy. And we obviously have a level of perception here. So I'm suspecting what the case here is that we can curve around here and then falling down there. It's probably the wrong path. Do have the flashlight on. These fire geckos proving to be super easy to defeat. So this is another exit. 2 exits on the same cave. Not the worst thought in the world. We have an evil gnome. Where did that come from? Definitely feels like that means there's some kind of quest in all of this. I wouldn't be surprised if the greenery and life we see here is possibly from a gek. I just don't see a point of even searching the fire geckos. So I'm basically just walking around the center of this more lush green cave. It happens to have a lot of radiation in it. And I imagine it doesn't have anything else in it. Oh. So the important item there seems to be the evil gnome. What am I supposed to do with an evil gnome? Who knows? But at least that's something different we can do here. Where are we? Oh. Interesting. Well, first of all, let's not die of radiation poisoning. So rad X and rad away. I mean, this is where we entered, and everything here screams we've just got to take a dip in the water. Which, let's go ahead and equip our rebreather on. This is super green, and it seems like it is full of cracks and visual glitches. So maybe the move was to intentionally have this whole section blocked off. Now we're over encumbered. And when you're over encumbered, apparently that also affects your swimming speed. If I drop this, that's not much. Still would need like 14 more things to be dropped. Wouldn't be surprised if there is several things we can drop here. It's not gonna be fast. What I'm dropping right now is not particularly heavy items. Okay, so I guess that also goes to show you just how many things float in water. I guess there's a little mini game you could do here is, does an item float or not? And the answer to that seems to be most items float. Some items sink. Why in the world did they program items to not either all float or all sink? I have no idea. Definitely seems like it would make a lot more sense to just have all items float, and then that would be that, and you could come back and find the items, or have all items sink and then maybe even disappear and despawn after a while. Inherently, these items aren't very important, but also if they did despawn, it would make it kind of difficult to replace them. So it is still kind of it would have to be a great leap. You're not just going to be able to work your way back that direction. Let's go around in a circle and see if we see any other triangles. I'm not seeing any. And that definitely feels like this could just be everything there is to deal with. If we fast travel here and spin around in a circle, Looks like we found everything.
Eat this.
Still feels like, yes, there could be something between here and here. So let's just walk in that general direction. Normally we would just fast travel.
Eat this.
Yep. Let's see another triangle for a new location. So this definitely feels like this is the way the game should force you to play. It's just to say, hey, we noticed a new location in this direction. You should go and investigate it. Always keep an eye out for these triangles. They will show you something interesting. Of course, that's in direct contrast to how the game really plays in many cases, because in many cases you really shouldn't go to a location until you have a quest. And there is definitely a danger that if you encourage the player to just find other locations too often, you would then have to use a bunch of tricks to prevent the player from going into certain locations. Searchlight East gold mine. Makes me suspect that there's going to be another small section here, maybe not even enemies to fight. Definitely gives the feeling that there should just have been a whole series of gold mine quests. It definitely feels like if you found these locations and this was your early game, you would have a very different experience.
Over here.
Just use a item to wear off this. So we have a Viper leader. And leather armor reinforced. Guess we'll take it. And then immediately become over encumbered. Let's see if we can
Fine by me.
maybe give this guy some weapons. He's just gonna drop anything to Legion. Inherently, I imagine I have a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff I haven't really dealt with. Evil gnome. Bunch of lead. Still don't know anything about this journal, 2 of 2. Maybe I did just pick up both journals. Maybe that's what that means. Although, it still didn't seem like that did anything. That's what we're trying to do, is walk around the edge of this cave and figure out if there's anything more here. Otherwise it would just be this guy. Definitely feels like pickaxes should have been a weapon in this game. It would make a lot of sense thematically. Killing the Viper gang leaders. Either I didn't actively kill them, or you don't get karma for doing that. It's kind of crazy to have a whole other section of them. Yeah, I definitely killed somebody there. It's funny, I took her hat, and by taking her hat, her spiked hair showed up. This is just not going to last very long.
Fine by me.
Well, he apparently thought that was better equipment. They all seem to be doing drugs. So I came in from there. How, wait a minute, I didn't come in from there, I don't think. Weird. So, as best as I can tell, this is just one big mine. Probably trying to be somewhat of the equivalent of that underground world that is about as half as big as the overworld in Skyrim. Yeah, I came in and then walked around the corners and reached this spot. And it seems like then I worked around on the circle, the full circle, and just went back this direction. But yeah, there's absolutely nothing here. You know what would be interesting in a Fallout game is if you had a group of people trying to build a vault just from scratch. They were digging out a cave effectively and trying to copy what Vault-Tec had done from maybe even some kind of old schematics. That might work. I suppose I also should say I do recognize that I'm pausing a lot in between statements. There's an overwhelming amount of stuff happening on screen at all times. So I feel like this is right on the edge of Searchlight. Unless we are back. A Camp Searchlight is labeled here, but it is a fairly extensive area. So let's spin around and see if we see any triangles. Nope. While we're at it, let's make sure we've got our Radix resistance ready to go. I do see that there's some enemy somewhere here, but I can't see it. Turret guns. If they could eliminate the radiation in the area, I can see the troopers wanting me to turn on all of the turrets. Them having teddy bears is weird. I would need a marker though to tell me where all the turrets are. We're doing the quests very backwards here as far as the Bitter Springs Boon Companion quest, because we've done pretty much everything at Bitter Springs already.
Is it me, or has the Brotherhood stopped engaging us? Smartest move they've ever made, you ask me.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for it.
Right.
You're back. What can I do for you?
I have an update on Cottonwood Cove. Give intel. Planted a bug in the radio and found some intel.
Well, this is more than I could have hoped for. Almost seems too good to be true, but the details are all here. Looks like they're planning to strike some of the southern caravans. I'll notify the rangers and patrols in that area immediately. Here's some caps for your trouble. You've done us a great service.
So 500 XP for that.
Well, unless you want to go in there and clean out that camp for me. I guess this should be more than enough for now.
Already took care of the camp.
What? How'd you pull it off?
Release some barrels of radioactive waste.
That's exactly what we needed to put a cork in that camp. The Legion won't be moving through there anytime soon. It's a fitting revenge for Searchlight. Thanks for taking care of those bastards for us.
And so there's 1,000 experience points, and Eye for Eye is done. We're now accepted with the NCR, which may help me later on. Okay. So put 1 point into unarmed to get to 40. At least 5 points to survival to get to 80. And then it doesn't seem like it would make a lot of sense to go with medicine to 90. Let's see if we can get things up to 75 with perhaps the exception of melee weapons and unarmed. Yeah. Definitely feels like we are going to get everything up to 100. It just feels like we may get it to 100 after after we've done anything of importance.
Hello.
Spin around here and see if we see any triangles. No. And I would say we are going to get everything up to 100 because worst case scenario, I would straight up just cheat to get all the stats up to 100. Which is a thought, now that I know you can do that with the console, without even installing a mod, it might just make sense on a second playthrough to cheat. We have all of the characters sections being mentioned again, or at least most of them, where a lot of these groups had seemingly disappeared from that list when I turned on God mode to get out of dying over and over again, because the save file saves me right at this spot with 100% radiation, dying over and over again from radiation. Okay. So that does searchlight. Then two other options are kind of I'm aware of. One of the options.
That fiend leader shouldn't have messed with our great army. This is it. War's almost upon us.
Are you not gonna actually let
I
me
hear a
trade?
troublesome Legion camp got razed to the ground.
So the hope here is I'm wearing the NCR armor, which, you know, the left bump to go into third person perspective has stopped working all of a sudden. But yeah, my hope is that I'm now accepted by the Legion, by the NCR.
Hello. If it's bad news, you can take it up with the Colonel. If it's good news, it better involve some dead fiends.
Here's a whole nother character.
Pack of drugged out killers. They're addicted to every stim, every pill, every psychoactive enema on this fucked up earth.
And see, the
I've got
whole
3 fiends I
problem
want dead,
here
and I don't give a goddamn how it gets done.
is that you
That
just
sound
don't
like
have
something that interests you.
quest giver.
Good. That's damn good. I figure it's about time we got lucky out here, so maybe you can snuff one of these maniacs. First one calls herself Violet. God
Already
knows
killed
why.
her?
The name is the prettiest thing about her. Spends most of her time with a pack of vicious dogs. Then there's Driver Nafai. He's fast and he's brutal. Killed about a
Think
dozen
I
of my
killed
men with
him.
a goddamn driver iron. Hence his name.
I have his weapon.
And finally, Cook. Rapist, pyromaniac, and damn good chef if you believe the fiends we've captured. Probably the craziest of the lot. I'm not gonna feed you any bullshit. These aren't your common Vegas trash. They've all killed good NCR men, and plenty of mercs too. You go after them, any of them, you're in for a hell of a fight. So, which one is it gonna be?
Let's go with Violet first.
Violet it is. Wish I could give you more advice on how to bring her down, but we know less about her than the other two. Just watch out for the dogs. She raises them herself. Might as well be their mother, and never leave her side. Good question. Fiend territory is southeast of here, but they range all over the area. None of them stays in any one place for long. One more thing. If you want the full reward, you need to bring me a recognizable head. My superiors need proof they're gone. That means no headshots, no decapitations till after they're dead, and no damage to the face. If you want to be safe, aim for the chest. You bring me a head that looks like a rotten tomato, people will be doubting, and I won't be authorized to pay the entire bounty. Good luck to you, and don't get careless. Yeah, I was there.
Here's another
I was
Bitter
Captain
Springs
Duffy
character.
then. That whole situation was a mess and could easily have been avoided with good intel. The major in charge at the time made a bad call. He thought Bitter Springs was full of Great Khan raiders, so we surrounded the place. By the time any of us realized there were civilians down there, women and children, shooting had already started. The major froze up at the news, and we couldn't get another word out of him. I took over and salvaged the situation as best I could. For my effort, I was promoted to major. Not quite the way I'd have wanted it. We know they supply the fiends with illegal chems, but they never stick around in NCR territory for long. They know the land and move quick. There's talk from time to time about taking out their base at Red Rock Canyon, but nothing ever comes of it. The Great Khans are tough fighters.
They keep talking about Bitter Springs as the one main mistake the NCR has made.
Adoptive father, yes. I was very proud when he made first recon. I know that every time I send them out, I could be sending him to his death. But if it's not me, it'll be somebody else. At least this way I get one more chance to see him.
It is worth mentioning that even on my relatively new monitor, which I have the brightness turned up really high, the character is super blown out, and the background is super blown out. As far as just the whites are too bright, and they are making the whole image feel milky and foggy in the way it looks. Looking at my other monitor that is showing the preview image, it's the exact opposite situation. It's not blown out and milky with the whites, but it is just incredibly dark with the face of the main character. This is something unique, I would say, to Fallout New Vegas in particular. I don't even think Fallout 3 had this problem.
Damn right
Okay, so we've exhausted everything. We should have found this guy a long time ago.
That right. You killed one of the psychopaths on my shit list. Let me see the scumbag's head. God damn it. That's Violet, all right. You made me one happy son of a bitch, you know that? Here, this is the bounty I put on her head. It's yours. Think you can take down another one of these scumbags? Up to you. But I can trust you to do the job, and I'd hate to see you walk away.
Yeah.
You killed another one. Let me have a look at the head. Well. Driving the Phi. Nothing to say, you son of a bitch.
More NCR fame game.
Swing. Lost a lot of good men to this psychopath. Morale's gonna be better now that he's gone. Here's the bounty I promised. I guess we can send first recon down to Camp Forlorn Hope. They need all the help they can get there. That's 2 psychopaths dead. If you can bring down the 3rd, there's a bonus in it for you.
So, I suppose, had I done this quest earlier, it would have added more men to Forlorn Hope, which would have made it even easier to do that final war-like section that really wasn't that war-like.
One thing I should tell you about Cook. Piece of shit is pure animal. He raped one of my snipers, and that makes this personal. Also, he's got a flamethrower, and he's damn good with it. From what I hear, he either rapes or burns every living thing he gets his hands on.
This raper character, and
only one man's gotten close to killing
subject
him,
matter of rape in one character.
So
clearly
Maybe it's
they were
bullshit,
thinking.
I'd still ask him about it.
Clearly they could have eliminated that whole storyline by eliminating one character.
Bounty hunter talks big, but he's still alive, so he can't be completely full of shit. I think he's out in the yard waiting to claim a couple bounties. You've gone after the fiends before. I don't have to tell you to keep alert. Good luck. Right.
Okay, so now we have a secondary quest that can get us more fame with NCR. Let's talk to Little Buster.
I'm still here. Shit, I got nothing better to do. The rapist with the flamethrower? Yeah, that's a combination I stay the fuck away from. I was stalking him for a while. Real good at that. watching people from where they can't see me, you know? Only one thing I learned about that asshole. Keeps a bunch of Brahmins. Most of them he roasts whenever he feels like it. But there's one. Must be his pet or some shit. Doesn't let anybody near that Brahmin. Somebody puts a bullet in her, I bet that'd piss him off good. Might make him careless, too. Hey, yeah. Next time you see me, maybe I'll be rolling in a shitload of caps, right?
Okay. So, 3-card bounty wants me, I think, to just go outside. Is that it? Well, before we do that, I suppose it is worth seeing if now we are at a good enough position to finish the other quest. Wearing the NCR uniform. There's also a possibility I could have come over here and I think talk to a different guy. Where is he? Is he upstairs? There's like a colonel over here.
Hey, welcome aboard.
We could come back and talk to this guy and Boone will have something to say.
Get away from me.
Nope, we can't talk to him. We could have talked to him earlier. MP confiscated goods. Very hard. Let's see. Do we care about any of these items? Magazines, not books, doctor's bags, and a super stim pack. And then here we have a bad guy we caught that we can't really talk to. So I guess I was wrong. I thought there was somebody up there or on this side we could talk to. Now, as far as I can tell, my relationship was just too low with this colonel because I killed a couple of NCR characters.
Yes, what is it?
My hope here is that this would work.
What? Why on earth? Bye.
And so that didn't work. So my relationship still needs to be better. Somehow. I guess killing the fiends might improve my relationship a little bit, but it still may not be good enough. And I'm not sure if my relationship is really bad because I let the monorail get blown up, or if it is just because I'm only generally accepted by the NCR and lost a lot of my relationship with the NCR. Possibly working with Yes Man, possibly doing something different.
Is it me, or has the Brotherhood stopped engaging us?
So now is telling me
Smartest move
go
they ever
this
made,
direction.
that's me.
Put on this Tesla armor. And we would use the laser RCW. Can we equip any other kinds of bullets? Yeah, overcharge packs, which does 165 damage per second. Alright. Why do I have two locations being pointed though? Optional kill Cook's favorite Brahmin, Queenie to cause him to go berserk. And then I guess maybe just turn it. Like, why would Queenie though be here? Yeah. Why would it be in Camp McCarran? That doesn't make any sense. I think everything I need to engage with is in that general direction. And
that tower on the strip? They say the kings got massacred. Who's gonna watch over Freeside now?
We really can't do anything with the Kim junkies. You don't seem to have any beggars looking for pure water. Yeah. Vault 3 definitely made it much bigger of an issue to just find pure water and give it to people. Here, water should be a major concern, considering you're in the Mojave Desert. And yet, nobody asks for it, nobody cares if you have it. And I guess maybe I've just never been here. Any karma we've lost, we can just regain killing fiends.
Can't run from me.
Know that there's a fiend area in Vault 3. It is all over here, and I guess I just never got everywhere and saw everything. I can see that there's even a small triangle. And yeah, I'm not gonna bother to run over there and pick up items. Run over there and pick up items. I'm already fairly over encumbered and should take a trip back to the Lucky 38. So whatever there is to discover seems like it's on the other side of this wall inside the vault section. Also definitely seems like this would be a great place to have mines.
All mine.
main concern here is that Cook does seem pretty strong. So, Vegas Ruins West entrance. Now Cook is frenzied. Now Cook is disintegrated. That leaves an incinerator and his mangled head. Whoops. Guess we're not going to get as much reward as we would have liked. And Queenie's just Brahmin meat. Spin around in a circle and see if we see any other triangles we haven't discovered since we're here. This is crazy, really. We're probably, I would say, close to 110 hours into the game. And just now I have started to figure out the right way to play this game, which is really doing more cleanup work than anything else. Wandering around 2 locations, trying to find quests desperately to not move the main story forward. A lot of these things also are like really close to other things, but if you're already being distracted one way, you're just not highly likely to take that distraction to the next level and search the entire area. I was extremely focused on Vault 3 and getting to Vault 3 when I was here last, and so it's no surprise that I would miss something. Okay. What I'd really like to do is just pay. Why are they running that way? I don't know, I better leave before they end up dead. And I get to blame somehow. I'd like to just be able to pay to get the approval of people in the NCR.
Still working on that last bounty? This is Cook. Oh, you sure did a number on his face. Not allowed to give you the full reward, but thanks for taking this guy down. It's payback for at least one of my troopers. She'll be glad to know he's dead. Here's your caps. You've been one hell of a stroke of good luck, you know that? Those 3 scumbags probably killed 20 NCR troopers. And you bring them down alone. Wish I had a few grunts as good as you. Damn good working with you.
Okay. So, as far as other quests, this quest is still the one we can't move forward. Let's see if maybe we can try something better here. Let's see. we'll put on some NCR Trooper armor. We'll talk to Boone.
What is it? We won. Look, we've done some traveling together, but we're not exactly comrades in arms. I'm not ready to swap war stories. Maybe some other time. If you... Yeah.
So, still seems like he's not willing to open up to me. So my other thought here would be, can we increase our charisma? What would happen if I was to use one of these, by the way? Well, I guess that just repairs whatever weapon you have equipped. Barter, science, explosions, guns, charisma +1, repair, unarmed. So, yeah, min-tats increase your charisma. But I think if you eat 2, then your stats aren't going to be any better. So up to 8 now. Charisma +1 from min-tats. But if I drink alcohol, I think that will give me another boost in charisma. So now, min-tats and charisma. Try my charisma at 10. A drug addict.
Something I can do for you? Yes? What is it? What? Calm. We. Everything was going according to President, but our 2 main objectives are still contested. And we're... Bye.
So yeah, the only other thing I could think of doing would be killing him, and I don't think that's the right move. Okay. So that charisma did not work. And in that process I have now become addicted. So let's just take some fixer. My addictions have been removed. The addictions would have given me stats. Temporarily addiction remover, not permanent addiction remover. Interesting. Okay. Well, that leaves us in, I guess, a unique spot where we can't do this quest. We can try and do these quests. Either way, we need to first drop off things at the north gate. Let's go in here first and see if we can get addictions removed.
Hey.
You're back. Do you need medical attention?
Let's see. Radiation seems to be the only thing that she can remove. Not anything else. Sell a bunch of frag mines. And then we'll keep everything else. So I don't think that doctor is the right doctor. I really just don't know where the next doctor would be. Whiskey is now worn off. I'd think the Mormon fort would be the place. Not that I might find a doctor. And I suppose it's worth pointing out too that if I found the last snow globe, I can't turn it in because I moved the story forward too much. Okay, presidential suite. Let's go ahead and just take everything. And talk to Boone.
Fine by
and
me.
Take everything from him. See, I imagine I won't be able to craft too much here. Just more grenades. Time bomb. Just so we say we did it once. Overcharge packs. And leave everything else alone. Let's see. I seem to float around on my system, so I'm not 100% sure that I'm doing the same thing every time, but I think the general idea was that this was sellable items. Or items to use to repair items. And then these were either items to use or useful guns. Which is going to put me in a weird position really quickly. 9mm submachine gun, and then a secondary 9mm submachine gun. A 10mm pistol. Combat knives. Dynamite. Batman. What can we do with Batman? Nothing. Fire axe. Can't do too much either. We have one full flamer. So, yeah. This gun would be a marksmanship carbine. Give +2 damage also. But I don't think I'm ready to do that. Heavy incinerator hunting rifle. We have one perfect hunting rifle, which means the rest of the hunting rifles should be used for something else, like the BB gun or the brush gun. Wow. This once again just highlights how much of this game is just playing menu. It's the equivalent of having a Netflix account and then spending the vast majority of your Netflix time browsing the menu and never actually selecting anything to watch. Hunting rifle, a caravan shotgun also. Why do we fall for it? Or why do I fall for it? I have to ask. This isn't even getting to, say, the ideas of modding weapons, which that is definitely a whole different thing. Machetes. Then Machete Gladius. Plasma Defender can only apparently be repaired with other gunrunners' weapon. Are we missing anything here? We'll take the 9mm pistol. I'm pretty sure I already have one of those. Try being laser versus laser rifle. So I need to adapt a new system here. In that I really only need to hold on to the weapons if and only if I'm going to use them. And a named weapon at this point should just be in this inventory too. So a full condition gun. C4 explosives we could sell for money. Some of these weapons can definitely be sold for money. I will keep the 2 detonators just in case there is some slight difference there. frag grenades, frag mines. I guess the idea is to have only one of those. Colossal rifle. So, yeah. Bonus critical chance, bonus critical damage. So I guess the move here is probably to take the least quality weapons with me. And then while I am out and about, turn those least quality weapons into higher quality weapons. This gun still is very valuable. If you just want a gun that doesn't require bullets, I have more than enough. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I lost my train of thought there. Of course, the real problem here is you're just never gonna be able to sell all this. If I had an infinite, yeah. If I had an infinite amount of caps inside a sales kiosk, and I could sell all of this, and I would just have what would be a really ridiculously large amount of caps. But without that, I am just wasting my time. So that just put a ridiculous amount of weapons into my inventory. Sounds 22mm pistol, bumper sword with fire axe, combat knife. Knife. Gauss rifle. That and that. So I think I may actually use the Gauss rifle. So what it would turn into otherwise is anything that you have that's not at full should be sold. Anything at full should be sold. Still not gonna work though. Because all I can do here is try and sell this now for 2,000 caps. My only other thought would, I guess, be to buy back really expensive things instead. We really didn't even look as far as what the most expensive thing is. And there's no sorting in this game at all. So you buy back this, you buy back that, and then maybe buy back that and buy back that. That gives 11,000 caps that way. Then we see that this can be sold because it's not doing enough damage. That can be sold because it's not doing enough damage. That can be sold. That can be sold. Frag grenades. Probably something we should think about selling later. Hunting rifle. Machetes. Plasma fist. And then a super sledge, and that's too much. So we've got to pick some other item to take out, or we're just going to lose items. Doctor's bags might be the best bet. You can take that out. You can take that out. Turbo shouldn't have been in there in the first place. Okay. That seemed to work. So we're gonna have to keep the grenades and explosives, I think. Let's leave it at that for now. Okay. Now, same thing as before. We have only a couple things we actually care about. And then I think a whole bunch of things we don't really care about. Fiend helmet, goggles helmet, trooper helmet. We'll just look at what's being repeated here. Fiend helmet. And then this power armor. Taking metal armor most certainly is better. Centurion helmet. Roving trader hat. Explorer hood. Beamed helmet. Field hand outfit. We'll take a Vault 11 jumpsuit for that. Fire helmet. It's crazy that they made fire helmets. Goggles helmet. Hockey mask. Fire helmet. Do we have 2 fire helmets? Yes, we do. Leather armor. Versus leather armor reinforced. Almost certainly the wrong direction to go with that. Legion. Veteran armor. Veteran armor. Trooper armor. And trooper armor. Recon armor. And recon armor. And trooper armor. Okay. So I think I've done as much as I can here. As far as repairing things. As far as these different outfits. All of that is then going to throw me back into just dropping every item down our single collection box. And then coming back and seeing what we have any duplicates of. I don't know why the power armor doesn't stack. If anything, that probably implies that there's more work to be done. Then we'll take the least versions. Or were we taking the best versions to sell? I don't even remember. Seems like it would make most sense to take the best versions. Or take the least versions. Obviously, I'm just confusing myself with all of this nonsense. imagine what would have to happen here is either I would have to get another copy of a specific outfit, or I'd have to bring out all of these outfits that aren't at their maximum level and increase their quality by repairing them. This is really only something you could do at the highest levels. Once you have repair up to 100%, otherwise you are just going to repeat the process multiple times, making the whole experience even longer. It's way too many outfits. Again, it just feels like there's this childish need, and I'm certainly feeding into my own childish need by even engaging with these systems, but for every character with a different outfit, it feels like there's this childish need to make the player feel like they are missing out on content if they don't collect every outfit. It would take a lot to really make the claim that video games can be bad for your average person's mental health. It doesn't take a lot to claim that it's bad for some people's mental health. Susceptible people. But there is that feeling here where this is really preying on the baser instincts of somebody with obsessive compulsive disorder and leading them down a fairly dark path of time wasting, to say the least. Okay. So if anything now can heal anything, I should use it. It probably doesn't even matter what you'd use for what. You should just combine all of these items downward. Remember, I have the jerry-rigging ability, so I can use a lot of wide items. That's probably waste. But you know what? It kind of feeds into itself, too. The more valuable items I can get, the less valuable items otherwise that would be in the menu. So all of these things are sellable. The item I wanted to have equipped here, though, would be the Gannon family Tesla armor. So I'm going to go ahead and toss that. equip that. Still overburdened. Like crazy. There's just no way to really sell things. If I sell this heavy incinerator, then I would have to find something cheaper to buy back. I just don't have anything like that. Go and get rid of all of those, I guess, for now. Finally, we are back down to what is more of a realistic weapon. That's another cell weapon. And yet I'm still fairly heavily burdened. Nice cold Nuka-Colas. And then there would be a thought here of storing all the rest of this. You should have enough dog tags to make a weapon. I guess I can't, though. Deathclaw eggs could be cooked if I carry those with me and cook them somewhere else. I don't know if that evil gnome is something I should be carrying around. Get rid of the majority of the lead we carry. Certainly would make a lot of sense to just be able to break things down. Let's see. Can't mod the camera. Can't mod this. Can't mod that. Have 20,000 caps. As far as weight goes, should probably drop some of these aid things that actually do take weight. Probably only need like 2 or 3 of those in total. And the rest of this food stuff I normally would sell, but I guess I can't really do that at the moment. Weapons repair kits aren't worth really selling. Most of these drugs are not sellable. So we're down to 100. Now remember, there's a quest here that wants you at 75 before you, with no companions, before you can start it. Yeah, I just don't think any ammo takes any weight at all. The game is at least generous in that case. And so it really is just the fact that I'm wearing armor that is breaking up everything here and making everything so heavy. And while I think I'm still addicted to drugs, I don't know where I could go to be unaddicted. You know what? Let's go back to Good Springs. That seems like that would be a good way to go. I can try and move this quest forward using the console command in the next episode. Otherwise, we still can't finish this quest because we haven't a good enough relationship with the NCR. And so then the only other thought I could do is move my companion quest forward by going to the fort. Which, yeah, we can just teleport to the fort. Let's look at our stats first. It says, well, it doesn't seem like we're addicted to anything. So I'm just gonna assume I'm not. Nope. I think that's a good place to end it. Yeah, these episodes are getting longer and longer, I know, but yeah. I have to say, as much as I'm engaging with the trading and such,
you looking to buy some supplies?
I don't really like that you have to just try and balance out every shopkeeper. Let's see. That alone's not going to sell enough things. What I really would need to sell would be ammo. Yeah, unless I was going to specifically avoid like using 10mm ammo going forward. Even that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I should have fast traveled here with a lot more items in my inventory. Now, weirdly, I don't think I have a throwing hatchet. But I also don't think he's got anything super useful. Super stim packs are definitely the way to go at this level. And I haven't picked up any bubble gum. And then it would definitely be the miscellaneous stuff that we could spend all of our money on. It's just how can we find mods? Spatula. guess what we would want to do is probably sell our basic rounds. But it's not going to work out well for you in the long run. But I don't know if there really is a long run left in this game either. It may be very well the case that you're just not going to use that many more guns. Of course, the DLC could change all of that. Grenade launcher. Grenades. Armor piercing. Definitely feels like there also needs to be a better system here. I don't want to sell any of the mini nukes, but I'll never actually use a mini nuke. Can't sell all the nails because I don't think I'll ever use those. So what do we want to keep? BB guns. The electron charge park. Back there.
Pleasure doing business with you. Take it easy now.
So we just sold a ton of bullets. Just have more caps. In some insane assumption that there's going to be anything like that. Could go back and look at Victor's shack and see if there was anything interesting there, but I don't think I want to really do that. We're going really long. Right, we've got, with the current gun I'm equipped with, also using bullets. I sold all the electron charge packs, didn't I? So it's been a really long time since we were here. Can't we use this to reset our special or adjust our special?
How are you holding up? I don't see nothing.
I saw your old vault on the strip vault 21, right? Mr. House filled it with concrete. So this is the one he came from.
Yep, he sure did. Wanted himself a hotel, and to make sure once he made the change there'd never be any going back. We didn't get a say. I don't know how you'd argue with a fella like that anyways. Everywhere and nowhere all at once. So, just like that, we was all homeless. Went our separate ways, and that was all she wrote. Eventually, we made our way out here, but, well, when folks spend their lives in isolation, sometimes that ain't the best of things for learning to fight off germs. We was going to California, but Good Springs was as far as we got. After she passed, wasn't no reason to keep going. I stayed so I could keep close to her. You take care now.
So he doesn't seem to cure radiation addiction either, which I have to just assume I'm not addicted. That Fixer does not just temporarily remove addiction, but permanently removes addiction, which was my understanding. There's buildings here that we almost certainly didn't thoroughly search compared to nowadays. Also spin around and just see if we have any small triangles in this area, which I would suspect no. And Victor is just here. So Victor went back to his shack. And I guess that's as much as you can say, as he went back to his shack. Seems like maybe I'm on better terms with Victor, so I can steal things from his shack. I may have been able to do that even originally. Yeah, nothing special here. Okay. Well, that's gonna be the end of this episode. What we'll do in the next episode is we'll go to this quest and see if we can debug this quest, and if not, then we'll just go to the fort. We'll make a safety save, go to the fort, and we'll just kill Caesar, and that'll move us further towards the final confrontation at the Hoover Dam, which, yeah, we've spent probably 20 hours now actively avoiding moving that story forward, when it very likely is not even going to affect that much once we do move the main story forward. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.